Hello.
And welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Knowledge. On today's episode, guys, I am so happy. I'm smiling ear to ear because I finally got PokeGal to come on this channel. Guys, PokeGal is one of the people that I've known since I really started making YouTube videos. She was super supportive of my channel from the very beginning. I love her content. She really actually was one of the driving factors that made me start doing lives because she was doing lives and I was seeing how much fun she had, and it was almost contagious that I just saw how happy she was and I was like, I got to start doing the same thing. But with that said, PokeGal, thank you so much for coming on this channel. And for the few people out there who don't know who you are, there is a link to your channel in the description below. But for everybody out there, just give them a little bit of a backstory to you and
Sure.
collecting in this hobby.
Hi guys. How are you? I'm really excited. I actually live streamed during the pandemic for like a year. And then I stopped because I started working a lot. Well, I've always worked, but I just eventually kind of, you know, fell into the hype and then realized, hey, everybody was so excited about Pokemon. I realized, hey, I've been collecting for what, 24 years. I have a really incredible background. Unfortunately, I can't really show you, but I have a lot of sealed booster boxes here in the background. Hopefully, some of my followers are watching. I can't read the comments, so I don't even know. I'm so new to like Zoom here,
Oh, if
but
you pull up the YouTube page on my channel and you just pause the video, you could read the chat
oh,
anytime.
that's what I try to do, and then the Zoom just totally disappeared.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'll totally try to do that. But let me know. But yeah, I've been collecting for like 24 years. Been through it all: the ups, the down, the ups, the down, the roaring sky phase, the legendary collection phase, where everybody's like, "Oh God, that's a terrible set." But guess what? Guess what's so popular now? Hmm.
The reverse hollows from Legendary Collection. Yeah. No,
Been through
I
it all.
Yeah, I love the fact that you were in this hobby for so long and you really never stopped. And your collection, for
Never.
anybody out there watching this who is not familiar with PokeGal, her collection is one that everyone is jealous of. It is one of the most comprehensive collections I have ever seen. And I know you've mentioned on videos in the past, but you have a almost 100% complete booster box collection.
Yeah,
I,
I
I know
do
you're missing, I think, two.
too.
Yeah,
Too. I'm missing the most expensive one. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure you know which one.
yeah. First edition base, but
Even if I have the money, I don't know if I would invest in that though.
yeah.
But
But
I'm
the fact
missing
that you
that.
have, but you still have an unlimited base set box. So
I do.
technically, you have one booster box from every single Pokemon set. That trust me,
I
there are
do. I
that puts
do.
you in like the only people I really know I know a couple people, but that puts you in the likes of like TCA Gaming and PokeRev, like the very few people that have complete booster box collections, which is awesome.
I added CCA Gaming to as a Facebook fan. Wait,
Oh, okay.
I did, yeah, friend. And he accepted. Thank you. It only took like 2 months, but he
Shout out to
accepted it.
Rusty.
I know. Thank you, Rusty. But
So
anyways, I
so you
let
also have a ton of singles, PokeGal, like
I
a
do. Oh my God.
preposterous. I mean, we're talking
I
like
do.
full gold star sets,
I
primes,
do.
you name it. You have a
I do.
crazy extensive
I
Pikachu
do.
collection.
I
So
do.
I
I
want to know
do.
two things. First off, like,
Okay.
why did you decide to go the sealed collection route? Because you were doing sealed collections when a lot of
Uh-huh.
people weren't really doing sealed collections. And then
Okay.
you also not only did sealed collection, you also went after like the raw cards and just insane binder collect. I'm telling you, I've seen your videos. Like they put
Oh,
us all to shame.
no, that's not true, you guys. That's not true. If you guys can see the mess that I have down here and another mess in the room, it would be like, oh my God. Well, that's a really good question. Um, I've always been a collector. I don't really sell. And I've noticed back then when I was collecting, I've noticed the value of booster boxes, although they do retrace, but they always tend to just go up steadily, but slowly. But I've always noticed that. And the first box that I noticed that went up the most, and I started just collecting a bunch, was a XY Flash Fire. So if you look up, I think I have like four XY. Well, you probably can't look up. I don't definitely pull up the webcam. But yeah, I've always noticed with Seal, it always went up just very slowly. And always been a collector. And I've always, I guess, I just gotta collect them all. And I've never sold, not never sold, I think that's wrong, but I hardly ever sell. And fortunately, I guess, collected a whole bunch, and always been through it, always up and down. And I always tell a lot of my people that watch me is just to be patient. I've never rushed into buying anything at all. And that's, I guess, hopefully that answered some of the question. I guess I'm just a really true collector. And I talked with a basic trainer, and he just felt the exact same like me. He said, look, we're just here to collect. I don't care how much the value increase. We're just here to collect. And I haven't really sold anything for quite a while. So yeah.
I know you, I want to say you and the Cat's Meowth, you got together a grading
Yeah.
submission. You were going to do your first ever submission to grade, in which people out there, if you guys are not familiar with PokeGal, there are binder collection videos on her channel, which are just, every time she flips over a page is just banger after banger, like almost to the fact where like you're watching it and you're like, oh my God, like this is a make-believe video because of how good these cards are. But I know you put together like an 8,000 card submission to PSA, but that never ended up going through, did it?
I did. I actually purchased a home instead. So I used that money. But the Cat's Meowth went through. And I did ask for her consent for me to disclose this. I did. We're actually really good friends. So but I bought all her Japanese. So she had a complete set of Japanese opened. So I purchased it all. She sold all to me, her collection.
So you're
A
talking
to Z. A to
every
Z.
set of Japanese, from base set all the way up to, I'm guessing she probably stopped around.
She stopped.
XY?
No. No, she continued. You're right. I think after, I think you're right. I think she stopped after Evolutions. I could be wrong though.
So she made it pretty far. I didn't even know she got through XY. But
she did.
The fact that you were able to pick up an entire, we talk about Japanese and people that they'll think like Japanase base set. Is that what she's talking? I'm talking about all of it. Every single Japanese set from base set all the way up. And the fact that you were able to acquire that collection, that alone, that one acquisition is amazing. But the fact that was just, the cherry on top of your collection, which at that point was already so extremely massive. So I mean, I've seen you go through binders and you're like, I don't collect Charizard. I think on your last stream you said this. You're like, I don't collect Charizards, but you call it your Charizard binder, and it was just page after page after page.
But I'm pretty excited because I have a private dinner with King Gary this Saturday, because he's going to collect a con in Long Beach, and I live about 15 minutes in Long Beach. So he told me, he said, hey, if I'm in California, we're meeting up. And I said, deal. So I'm really excited. So I'm going to get some of my Charizard signed by him. Super, super excited.
That'll be fun.
I know.
So I know you've had Gary on your channel in the past, but will this be the first time you'll actually meet him in person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me try to pull up your YouTube. So let me see what's going on. Sorry, guys. I'm not.
All you got to do with the Zoom is you just like make it so it's smaller, and then you could kind of just line it up right next to the chat and then pause the YouTube video. And
gotcha. Oh, I got it. Hey, there I am.
Yeah. So
oh my God, there's Drew, there's Dima. Hi, everybody here. I recognize a lot of the names.
Oh yeah, there's some all-stars in the chat right now.
They are pretty excited. There you go. There's some of the crew. Let me make it smaller. Sorry, guys.
No,
there you go.
But it's always fun because you've always been on the other side of the camera on so many videos. It's funny because when I look back on your channel has interviewed all the people I've interviewed on my channel, but you did it like a year earlier, so it's pretty funny. But you're always on this side of the interview, you're always the one asking the questions. So it's really fun to be able to pick your brain a little bit because, for somebody who's been doing this for as long as you have at the level you've been doing this at, you
Uh-huh.
have a lot of knowledge. And I'm always amazed when people could, ask you questions and you know some like pretty niche stuff. Or if you don't know it, you're like, hold on, let me pull out my binder, and you pull out the card somebody's talking about.
That is true. No, I don't. I think you actually have more knowledge than me.
No, I think
You
you got it.
no, not at all. It's you. And then you and Jake, definitely. I look up to you guys. So I have no idea what you're talking about. Not at all. Not at all. Not at
So
all.
I'm
Not
hoping
at
we
all.
could get Mason from Cardinal Gaming. I hope he
Mm-hmm.
stops in on the chat because it's pretty funny that there's a pretty cool backstory between the three of us
Mm-hmm.
that you might not even know exists. But I want to play it if he comes in. It's like a little clip from one of your videos, which is pretty awesome.
He likes to troll me on my channel. I'm
Yeah.
totally fine with that at all. But just to let you guys know, I'm going to show you guys something of how long I've been collecting. Okay, 1 second. Okay, show you guys this. I'm wearing shorts underneath, so I got to make sure I don't stand up. Okay, I got to make sure I don't stand up. 1 second. I show you guys this real quick. Okay, back then.
I'm always excited when you pull out a binder.
Okay, hold on. Let me go here. Hold on.
And how many binders would you say you're up to at this point?
Probably 80. I have so
80
many.
binders.
It's I dedicated a room just for my collection.
Oh, wow.
And I'm buying another. I bought a house. I'm gonna remodel it and just where did it go? Wait 1 second. Okay. Go. Where did it go? 1 second.
But so you've now, do you have every single English set completed? With the exception of like
I would say
the
so.
newest sets?
I would say so. Right. Okay. Got it. Okay. So I got this card back then. I don't know if you guys can see it's
Yep. One of the Gyarados Pancho Pikachu.
correct. Yeah. Back then when it was $22. Okay. And I got this whole page of binder. I don't know if you guys can see without me. All of this.
Yep.
All of that back then, that whole page for $100 back then. And it was some seller on Burbank, and nobody wanted those. Nobody. It wouldn't sell. Okay. And he had like multiple copies. I said, sure, I'll take it. He goes, do you want this for $20 or let's say $21? I said, sure, I'll take it. So, but yeah, all of those cards for back then, 100. And
I love that. That's just one sheet of your binder.
it's just been sitting there. I should get some of these cards graded, but someone breaks in or there's a fire, I'm screwed. Oh. But yeah, I've been collecting a lot of Japanese cards of Pikachu, so I think that's what I've just been doing. But other than that,
but yeah. You went after like gold stars real early on too, didn't you?
I did. I did. Let me go here.
Oh, she's gonna pull out the gold star binder.
Well, I have a couple of binders that I really like this.
Oh yeah, that's funny you say that. That's the 25th anniversary Ultra Pro binder. I really like it too. I bought one too on like a whim because I really like the feel and the look of it.
Yeah. So this is what I was supposed to send to grading, but unfortunately I took it all back. This is my binder. I mean, see, unfortunately I can't really show it to you guys.
I could see that's a page of gold stars.
So I have the full set all completed. This was all mint. And back then I think I bought all of these. What's this complete set? And I think the guy, because I have like complete sets, like multiple complete sets, and I think I bought this back then. I mean, I forgot how much. Look at that one.
Oh yeah.
I
Is
think I
that
got
the first edition?
yeah, I should
Lugia?
get all these graded, but
Yeah,
I
probably.
I think I got this binder back then. My God, for
The
like $350. And I think it was just on Craigslist and the guy couldn't sell it. I said, hey, I'll buy it. And but yeah.
Anybody who's listening to this video in the background and they're not watching the video, I recommend you guys going back and watching like the last 60 seconds of this video to appreciate this binder. But
yeah.
that first page that had your gold stars, was there a gold star Charizard? I only could see like a
Oh yeah, there was. Oh, so there's actually a really good story in this Charizard right here. So I went to a what is it? A thrift shop. And this guy came in and said, hey, I have a box of Pokemon cards here. And I think he sold it for like $40. And I said, sure. And this is back then, I think like 5 years ago. And then that box of random cards, I think it had this. No, I didn't think. It has this Charizard. I think it had one of these Mew Gold Star that I have here. So I got pretty lucky. And back then, I mean, all these shiny Charizard that I have, these were like going for like $90 when I bought them a long time ago.
Yeah, so you got the crystal. Is that the crystal reverse Charizard from Skyridge? That's the reverse on the front page.
That was. And if anybody remember this is Plasma Freeze.
Oh yeah, yep.
Do you remember that? The secret rare.
Yep.
And these were going for like $270.
Those were very expensive cards.
They were, and I have 3 of them. And then what is it? Sun and Moon got the reprint of it. I thought it went down for a little bit, but not that much.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
I'll offer you $500.
No, that is awesome binder, and that's funny that's just one of 80.
Oh my God, there's Mason. There it is.
Okay, so we got Mason in here. So
okay,
Mason,
tell us.
Mason, I want to share something now that I have you in the chat, because you were on PokeGal's live stream. Like I had to go back because of this video, and I watched it. It was March of 2021, and I want to play you a small scene from that. So I'm just going to share my screen real quick. First, I just got to make sure I pull it up. Okay, hold on one second. So yeah, it's going to be, I think you're going to find it pretty interesting.
Okay.
All right, let's see if I can. All right.
Ooh.
So this was from the scene, okay? So I'm just gonna press play, and I want you to just let it play for like 60 seconds, and just everybody at home listen to this.
Okay. That's a good channel, you guys. I'll just check out. Look at Mason.
I have a good list. Hold on. Fine. Poke knowledge. Okay. All right. People gotta understand. Like when I go home, I watch all the stuff. When I'm driving in my car, I put on like Jake Pokenomics, his stuff. I'm driving my car and I'm listening to it. Like, oh, I love Jake.
So that's it. So for everybody out there, that scene was me in PokeGal's chat when Mason was a guest, and Mason had never heard of me before. And because of PokeGal, Mason added me on YouTube and became one of my subscribers. And then from that, Mason was my first ever guest live, really helped give me a huge springboard on like the growth of my channel. I went from literally a meme channel, started moving into more of these live streams, but all that started with you, PokeGal, because you were one of my very, very original subscribers. I mean, you had been watching me when I was
in meme phase. Yeah.
Yeah. Like 100 subscribers. And March of 2021, when you had recognized me in your chat and Mason added me, that was only making videos for like 4 months at that point. So I was an extremely new channel. So I just have to say, like, you know, thank you for always enjoying my channel. And I've always enjoyed yours too, but I just think that is pretty crazy.
No, I love your channel. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, good, Mason. No problem, Mason. I just totally introduced you to Mason, and so he can troll you as well. Mason is such fantastic. I really like Mason. So yeah, but I do have a couple of questions because I did try to invite you on my stream. Okay. Yep. So, well, I kind of guess. I did talk to you in private about it, but I do want to know, is it a lot better to live stream or you start making the videos? What do
It
you
is.
prefer?
Yeah. So what happened was I started making videos and I started talking about stuff, and I get to the point where I was starting to watch other channels that kind of didn't show their face, and I was like becoming in a way like in my head like judgmental against them. I'm
Mm-hmm,
like, I can't believe anything they're saying if they're not even showing their face. But then
mm-hmm,
I was like, wait, but that's exactly what I'm doing. Like, how can I be judgmental for somebody not showing their face and not show my face? So I did my first ever live, just like a solo, and it was
mm-hmm,
definitely pulling a band-aid off, like super
mm-hmm,
nervous. Like, are people going to judge me? Are people going to like attack me? Or, just all the places your brain goes to.
mm-hmm,
And once I started doing lives, like there's no processing after, there's no editing. You just
mm-hmm.
record a video, you press end, and it's out there in the YouTube sphere. So that was like the once I wouldn't say I got lazy, because these lives are still like an hour plus long sometimes. So there's still time that goes in there, but
Mm-hmm.
there's no afterthought to it. And I really liked it. But now I got to ask you. So you were doing all these lives. What
Yeah,
made you? I would say you definitely slowed down a little bit lately.
a lot, a
Is
lot,
it just like work in
a lot,
general, or
a lot. And I think that goes, I'm going to answer this question with Blazer OP. And I really like this. He goes, can you give your opinion on something Squeak said that's very worrisome? He said that he predict all online selling platform will fail in the next 2 years, for example. So I'm going to tie my answer with this question. I really like this question.
sure?
Okay. So in a way, because I started streaming and I started to just do, rip and ship as well. And one, it's tiring. It's extremely tiring because you got to start to package, and I work full time. Okay. And in my opinion, the amount of energy that I put out, it's just not worth it for the amount that I sell or the profit that I make. And not only that, after taxes, it was just not worth it at all. So therefore I stopped. And I like Squeak a lot. So if anything, if he were to say that, because he owns an online store and I'm pretty sure primarily just sell online. I don't know if he has a physical store, but if he said that, that's an indication that perhaps sales are going down. Maybe Mason, you can clarify this if you're okay with that. But for Whatnot and YouTube Rip and Chip, I don't think what he said is far off. I really don't, because I eventually, I do think it's just going to go down. It just goes, it's like in waves, right? It
Hmm.
goes up, goes down, it goes up and goes down. Okay. And I don't think at this point, where maybe it's just me, my own opinion is that I don't think people have the surplus to spend on luxury items as much anymore, like Pokemon cards. I think at least what I'm noticing, people are learning to save and they're actually spending money more on rent, right? What's considered necessary. Okay.
Sure.
And I think Pokemon is almost too close to hitting demand. And I want to know your thoughts on that and what the chat is. I live in a pretty populated area and I'm seeing Pokemon cards on the shelf, local stores, and I notice even local card shop are dropping their prices, okay, and competing with others. Okay. But maybe when it comes to like rip and ship, eventually people are just going to get tired. At least what I think. They'll catch on. They'll get tired of just, at least what to me is just paying for a higher price for entertainment. Okay. I think back then with YouTube rip and ship is because these YouTubers or just people that I guess it's Whatnot streamers, they were opening these cards and they were giving them, I guess, financial advice, even though they shouldn't. And some streamers should have not at all. And I
Yeah.
think people are eventually catching on that, hey, I'm not making as much money as I thought. Okay. And I've noticed that. And I I think that's not a far off prediction at all. I don't think so. I don't know if it will die in the next 2 years, but I definitely think it will slow down. Let me know. I thought it's slowing down a little bit more, because if you go in Pokemon World, maybe they all just transfer to whatnot. I haven't watched any YouTube rip and ship at all, but
Yeah.
is it slowing down? I'm not even too sure at all. But
I'm
all
not I'm not into that world enough
uh-huh.
because I don't buy from rip and shippers because it's just not the
Hmm.
way I collect. But
Hmm.
I think what really caused it was that huge
Hmm.
rise was it came
Hmm.
during the hype because
Hmm.
there's a couple factors that played in. One,
Hmm.
product was just unavailable at shelves. You had a lot of new
Correct.
collectors came in, but those new
Hmm.
collectors didn't have like a collection yet. They were
Hmm.
collectors though, and they
Hmm.
didn't have a lot of like avenues or opportunities to open up products. So one of the obvious places they can get it from is to have somebody else open it
Hmm.
for them. But I think that comes with just the education of the hobby, right? And
Correct.
understanding. And
Correct.
also prices for singles and graded cards in particular, like absolutely skyrocketed. And obviously, and I know like those
Yeah.
prices weren't sustainable. Like a unlimited base set pack. If you
Yeah.
were to have gotten lucky, that's 11
Correct.
card pack. Two of them are going to be energies, but you're still going to get 9 cards. One of
Yeah.
them's going to hopefully be, well, maybe a hollow if you're lucky, but even not, you're talking commons, uncommons graded in nines, tens. We're going for like
Hmm.
70, 80, 100 if it was in a 10. If you got lucky, you got like Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander, like Pikachu. The EV on a base set pack after grading was like
Hmm.
crazy high. So a lot of people like saw these prices and saw what the market was currently doing. But as much as me, like unlimited Bulbasaur, Squirtles, Charmanders, there's a trillion of those out there. Like a make-believe number, like the biggest number of those cards that you can imagine exist. So
Hmm.
it took a little while for the market to cool
Hmm.
off a little bit and like newer collectors to get a little bit of a head on their shoulders when it came to maybe
Hmm.
not overpaying. And I just
Hmm.
think all those things compounded to just like cause exactly what you said, like that huge pack breaker like mindset for a lot of people. But as
Hmm.
the hobby, grows and it becomes more educated, yeah, I think the rip and shippers will become a lot less. And I think like what Squeaks is talking about is Whatnot and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Whatnot, one of the big things about platforms like that is
Hmm.
their customer acquisition costs for some of these platforms has to be massive. And the only reason I say that is because I'm looking at the people these platforms are bringing on. Like Whatnot had Logan Paul open up a first edition box.
Yeah.
They've been
Hmm.
giving away, I think they gave away like Black Diamond Triangle, like error packs in quotation, meaning like the Black Triangle, they cover the first edition stamp on unlimited packs. And then Post Malone has been brought on to open up.
I saw. I saw.
So that costs Whatnot a lot of money. And so all that money goes into their advertising, but that's all customer acquisition cost.
Hmm.
If they're pumping all this money out, but yet their
Hmm.
customers are getting less and less, or they're becoming smarter and smarter and spending less and less,
Hmm.
I can see how a company like that could realistically fail very easily. Now, the big guys, the eBays and stuff like that, like they're not
Yeah,
going anywhere. But
they're not.
the pop-up
Absolutely not.
shops like could definitely start hurting.
Hmm. That's
Or
something to take a look at. Huh.
or something like, your single rip and shippers. Like
Uh-huh.
one of the craziest things about rip and shipping that I saw
Hmm.
happen in
Hmm.
2021, late
Hmm.
2020, is
Hmm.
you can be a rip and shipper who bought their product at MSRP from Walmart and Target. Like
Yeah. Hmm.
from a business standpoint, if you're going to be a rip and shipper, you need a distributor agreement. But the fact that these guys could go in the Walmart, buy out shelves,
Hmm.
go back on their computer, rip some packs, and make a huge profit on something bought at MSRP is so
Correct.
crazy to think about.
Hmm.
But that's how the market was. The
Yeah.
market was just allowing it. But
Yeah.
that's unsustainable, right?
Absolutely not. I
Like
think the people that were buying from these rip and shipper, these streamers, is because in part they're paying for the knowledge that comes out of it, right? They're just saying, hey, if you get these cards graded, this is what it is. But I think where there was a clash, and that's what I've noticed, is that some of these streamers or some of these people that was giving advice, they'll be like, hey, this card is a pop 1, right? A pop 2. And this card, you can set any price that you want. And you'll see like on eBay, just because it's a pop 1, and they'll put the price as $500. It's pop 1 or pop 2 or pop 5 because nobody wants that card, right? And I think there was a very different disconnect there. And I think that's where a lot of people got in the hobby due to the pandemic, right? Great for the hobby. But in some cases, they got in the hobby and it depended who they listened to and how far they fell into the hype. Because when I was doing the live in like the Q&As, a lot of people would private message me and says, hey, I lost a lot of money. Okay. What can I do? A lot of money. And it's sad. Sometimes people just have to basically take a hit. And I noticed during that time, people don't want to hear the truth. They don't, right? And I get it. People put their money out there. They spent all the hard-earned money to, I guess, invest, but they started to lose the money. For example, a lot of people, they were paying $275 for a Vivid voltage booster box.
Yeah, which is the most ridiculous thing ever.
Right. And I think they're going for like 140 now. Okay. Yeah. And I think it's probably going to stay for 140 for a couple of months. I'm sure it'll go back to 275 eventually, maybe in a couple of years, who knows?
Yeah, but years is a long time in this.
Exactly.
Forget that.
Exactly. So, and I think, and what came, I think, with Jake in Pokenomics, and he talks a lot about the fear of missing out. Okay. I always tell the people that follow me, I never have that fear. I'm very patient. I will always wait. Nada. Very, very patient. Extremely patient. I've been in this hobby for a very, very, very long time. People can always go, buy this now, buy this now. Nope. I will wait. Very, very patient. And even now, I'm even more patient than ever because my goal is just to eventually buy, a collection, or just wait for the prices to drop, or someone just, I hate to say this, but eventually someone will sell me their collection and go, oh, here I am, all set. Yeah. And I'll just move on. But, if anything, if everybody listens to this, my best advice is just to be patient. And I always tell my viewers, whenever someone sells you something, you got to look, what is their motive to sell you, right? You got to look at that, right? And I think a lot of people fall into this like, oh, okay, I think he's actually doing me a favor by selling to this. But you got to think, if this is such a great investment, why is he selling me this? Okay. A lot of people know what I do for a living, so I kind of see through all of that. I think, don't get me wrong.
You hit the nail on the head with why is somebody trying to sell something that's a great investment.
Right. If a YouTuber try to sell me something, I'm like, why would he give it? If this card is going to be worth $50,000, why would he sell me that? And it's just something like, it's a red flag. But, I think during the pandemic, people were just, I guess, they're at home. They had a little bit more money, and it's great. I always welcome new people, but I noticed the hobby slowed down significantly, and I'm really glad that some people stay. I noticed some people left as well, because a lot of people reach out and says, hey, do you want to buy my collection? So exactly, Raheem, anti-FOMO, not at all.
Yeah.
It's so.
But it's funny, like what you're saying now is, when you say it now, everybody's looking at the current market and they're saying, well, obviously everything's slowed down. But it's funny listening to you, because this is the same things you were saying in your videos a year or two ago. You're just the same speech, the same thing, but it's funny, like now the market has finally moved to that. And I'm hoping that the market, but now this is the thing too, even though the market has slowed down a lot, I think we are in an extremely strong, extremely healthy place in the hobby in general, with all the people we've acquired, the knowledge that people have gained, and for the few people that did make financial mistakes, who stuck around in the hobby, as long as they learn from that mistake and they're not continuously like repeating those mistakes. Like I think Albert Einstein said, like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Like as long as people are not doing that, they're not just constantly doing the same mistakes financially and they're learning from it, then this it's got a lot of room to really run. And I think it's going to run mainly on the higher end. Like I think people are going to eventually go to that rarity scarcity factor, and however people want to take that,
Yeah. Bear markets are time to queue. That's true. That is true. People leaving insignificant until goes down. The Charizard top. I'll show you this. I actually do have a Charizard top. 1 second. I was funny. I was talking in my stream, and let me pull this up 1 second. And this
is that just a Charizard binder?
This is a small Charizard binder. But I bought this top back then. I think it was $10 each. So I paid $20 for this total. And I think someone offered me recently $200. I went, what? $200 for that card? I looked up, and I think on the chat yesterday, on Sunday when I did my stream, they said a PSA 10 was going for like $300. And I was like, oh my God, And when it comes to just grading in general, I think a lot of people, because I come from a financial, perspective, right?
This is financial background. Your financial.
Yeah, I do, exactly. So, and a lot of people know what I do for a living as well. Lots of numbers. So I would just look at that. I go, if you're going to pay me $200 for a card, assuming that you're going to pay $50 for grading, I don't know where, but I'm assuming, right? So you're gambling. If you sell that card for $300, you're waiting for a couple of months just to make $50. That is something, that's a terrible financial decision. But that's just me. Hey, if I was a terrible seller, I'd be like, yeah, here's $200, go for it. But you got to look at it from that end. Okay. Yeah. And, I don't think, I think with a lot of people that came into the hobby, I don't think they take into consideration. They always go, you know what, this card is going to get a PSA 10. That's it. So, okay, I buy this card, it's going to get a 10. They come back and it gets a 7 or an 8. And guess what? They're in the hole. Okay. Yeah. And I was like, oh my goodness. And the cat's Meowth, she opened, this is back then, she had fresh packs, okay, like just basically cards are freshly graded, and she hardly get a PSA 10.
Yeah, and she was open Skyridge booster boxes and stuff. She was opening all kinds of
correct stuff. Yeah, just basically she kept in a great binder, great condition, and she's just telling me how hard it is just to get a PSA 10 back then. Yeah, and I'm thinking
she was one of the last people to grade the crystal Charizard in the hollow. She got the PSA 10 on that. I know
she sold it. Yeah, she sold it. And we were just talking because our entry point in Pokemon was so low. So she's doing very good. But I'm just thinking about the people that's coming in now. Like, it's so difficult, right? If you're buying it's so difficult. Did you remember when there was the Roaring Sky booster boxes?
The reprint just crushed a lot of stores, going from like $280 a box down to $80, $90. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. I think it is weird because you definitely come from a different perspective, because you are definitely far more into the collector side. And you mentioned it earlier in this video. Yeah. You could more or less count how many times you sold a card. It's a very rare occasion for you to sell a card.
Very rare.
For those that are selling cards, like I think about that Charizard, that Topps card you sent. Like, in order for somebody to, now there's there's multiple avenues, but let's just say there's 2 avenues. There's a collector avenue and the flipper investor avenue. One of the things to be an investor in this hobby is people need to have stuff moving all the time. Like, so let's say that Charizard you did it, let's say it was a 10 contender, not saying it is a 10, but let's say it's a contender, to send that away to PSA at $30 or $50. That can just be one play in 100, meaning
Exactly.
you're not an investor. If that one card you bought, you're going to wait 5 months for it to come back, or 4 months, or
Exactly.
like, that's not an investor. The investor is the guy that is just one out of 100 different plays. So on a weekly occasion, you got cards coming back from grade, and you're selling raw cards, you're buying stuff, you're constantly moving. And I think that's where sometimes people get confused, because they'll watch some of the people that are hyper successful at that flipper mentality. But a lot of these guys that people are watching doing this on the highest of ends, like a Rusty, TCA Gaming, or Dan Catch 'em All Collectibles, or Nick Old School Pokemon. These guys are doing this full time, meaning they don't have, like, when I come home and I, mess around with my Pokemon cards after I put the kid to bed and before I do lives and stuff, like, I don't have time to run a business. These guys are running businesses. And that's one thing people also have to, like, keep in mind. So I think that is that gray line that sometimes people aren't able to navigate that well enough, where maybe they still want to be a collector, but they also want to be an investor, but maybe they don't have, like, there's a part where you need liquid funds almost 100% of the time in this hobby. Like, one of the most detrimental things you can do as an investor is not have funds available when the good buys come. And when a good buy could be like once every 2 years, once every 5 years. In your case, you bought an entire completed Japanese collection from base set all the way up to evolutions, and every single set in between, all in Japanese. You're talking hundreds and thousands of cards. But if you weren't in a financial position where you couldn't have given the cat's meow the money in order to acquire that, that is a massive, massive collection on the highest of ends. And you've completed collection goals that some people in this chat are going to go after for the next decade. You did that in one purchase. But if you didn't have the funds available, like, that is a once in a decade, once in 2 decade type opportunity. But if you couldn't do it, it's gone forever,
That's very true. And keep in mind, you guys, I don't have kids. If I didn't have kids, I would put that as a forfeit.
Yeah.
Maybe. Just kidding. Just kidding. But yeah, absolutely right. I think a lot of people that approach me and says, hey, I want to start collecting Pokemon. How do I start? Okay. Where do I start? And I think one of the best video that I got, I forgot where, I do want to talk about some of the people that you interview, and a little bit curious about all these what's going on in the Pokemon world. You let me know. Keep me updated. I want to know. But I think I always tell them, you got to start with a niche and just be patient, start, and always do your research and think of what is their intent to do. This is what you want, what they sell it. Think about what's their intention. I always tell people that. But anyways, I do have a
well, it's funny you say the niche thing, because I give very similar advice. I always tell people, I say, no one could be an expert in Pokemon in everything, and anybody who tells you that is lying. Like, no one could be an expert at anything. But I always say everyone could be an expert in one thing, and I don't care what that one thing is. It could be a single character, it could be a single set, it could be
Correct.
secret rare or whatever, just what you said. Find your niche, and anyone can be an expert in one thing. And once you become an expert in one thing, you just keep doing that. You keep progressing till you become an expert in 3 things, 5 things, 20 things, 30 things. Like, but again, time, right? And like you said, patience. Like, no one learns I don't know everything about Pokemon. I promise everybody out there, I don't know everything. I will never know anything.
He knows more than me, you guys.
The day I do know everything will be the last day I'll be collecting this hobby, because then, there's nothing worth at that point, but I'll never get there. So what was the question you were going to ask?
I do want to know, fill me in with the Pokemon drama here. I want to know, you guys. I want to know. I've been so out of it. Let me know. Poke knowledge. You're just telling me. Like, I want to talk. So what's going on? Fill me in with the Pokemon world. You got to tell me.
I don't know about any drama going on right now that I would even want to talk about. But I think the hobby's just moving into a better place.
Good. Good.
But like,
Good.
I don't know
Very
about
good.
if there's any like
Spill the tea. Exactly. Spill the tea. I want to know.
I think the only real drama going on right now is we're seeing a lot of reseals come up, like
Oh,
resale
oh.
boxes. We saw a resealed expedition box come up.
Mhm.
It's floating on both Pokemon and sports.
Uh-huh.
There's been now multiple expedition boxes.
Uh-huh.
Heritage Auctions has been selling some fake stuff, resealed stuff. PWCC is now opening sealed
Uh-huh.
product. So if you
Uh-huh.
want to sell on their platform, they're going to open it, verify it, wrap it, which
Okay.
depending on where people are, like some people, I know
Mhm.
you're one of those people. You want your sealed booster box. You want that Wizard of the Coast wrapping on it. You want it up on your shelf. You probably don't want PWCC to open it and then put PWCC tamper proof seals on it, you know? So I think that's
Oh,
probably like the drama going on right now is
I did
just,
not know that.
yeah, so that's going on. Rattle, he's in the chat right now. He gave you a big shout out.
Oh,
Uh,
hi, Pokemon Rattle. How are you?
yeah, but
I'm just,
he's been making a few of those videos.
oh, okay. So are these Pokemon investment channels still going on? I would like to know, you know.
There's like few out there. I know you were pretty harsh on some of them in the past. There are probably a couple still out there, but I think they're slowing down at this point.
um, I don't, maybe if I can flip up the camera here.
Go ahead,
Okay.
flip up the camera. Everybody out there will just be like, "Oh my god!"
Um, I think a lot of people have seen the background yet. These are just
I
some of the boxes.
yeah,
Let me,
I've seen your background when you fly. I'm always amazed at how high it goes. Like,
it's pretty high up there, you guys. But oh my God, I bought some of these boxes back then when they were like $65. It's just been sitting there. But anyways, that means I have to stand up and like move my Zoom. I'm sure you guys seen that.
yeah, I've seen it on
Rattle,
your
I'm a hoarder. I'm a
I've seen it on your
hoarder.
channel because you only could really see above your head like 3 booster boxes, but I've seen like it literally goes up to like the ceiling. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Back then, like I said, when I was buying these booster boxes, they were going for like $150. And some were like going for 325 and they won't even sell. They had to come to me and says, "Can you please buy this? I'll even give you a discount." And I'm back there, I'm like, oh my God, I don't even want to buy it at all.
Yeah.
And I bought it and I kept it sealed. I just didn't really. The thing is that back to answering your collection, I'm sorry, your seal collection. Like I didn't open it because I was just buying singles. I said, I already completed the set. Why do I need to open this box for? But yeah,
Do you
so
remember what the most expensive booster box you have is? I know you have like Deoxys and Skyridge
yeah,
and stuff, and those always were relatively expensive. So, do you remember what the most expensive booster box you had to buy in order to help complete your collection?
yes, yes, I yes, I did. It was $425.
Ooh. Okay.
It was $425. It was a mint hard gold and silver because I wanted minty and I
Mhm.
got it. So I paid $425 hard gold and silver booster box. It's actually sitting up there.
But
So
did you just miss that box like while you were collecting?
no, I bought that box and I think I bought it on eBay. And then can you give me 1 second? Can
Sure.
you give me 1 second? Thank you. You guys, I'll be right back. Okay. 1 second. Okay. 1 second. Okay.
No, so guys, I'm super happy about this. And if you guys are not subscribed to PokeGal's channel, it's down in the description of this video. I know Drew posted a link to it if you're watching this real time in the chat or after the fact, just like I said in the description. You can go back. She has just this crazy library of awesome lives. Like she's had Mason on before, she's had Nick Old School Pokemon on before, she's had Pokemon Classics on. Like a lot of these people are just in the chat as we speak. Squeaks Game World. I think she had Pat Flynn on her channel, Deep Pocket Monsters, when he was at like an incredibly low a subscriber amount. I want to say he had even cracked like 5,000 subscribers because PokeGal is just so in tune with the market, so in tune with, the YouTube content that was out there. I know she had PTCG radio on and just like a Jake from Pokenomics was on. A lot of people you would be familiar with, a lot of names you'd be familiar with. I know she had what's the guy? I forget his name. He has like a pretty big collection channel on, but she's just had like so many different people in this hobby on very similar sort of lives, like to what I do, but
Sorry,
it's
you
just her
guys.
with other collectors. No, I was just
Sorry.
like explaining to everybody like your channel and some of the videos you have on there and how it's a wealth of knowledge that people probably don't even know exists because you haven't been making content like on the regular lately, but like your library is awesome.
Sorry, it's no one broke into the house, you guys. It was just the Amazon guy trying to like knock, and I had to get that product.
Wow.
But yeah, I just wanted to make sure. I just had to get that product from Amazon. So yeah,
Yeah.
but yes,
Pokemon Classics was saying you've had Dave Persons on, the
I
number one
did.
Pokemon collector. He's somebody I've been trying to get on this channel. I hope someday I could get him on.
Let me know. I can connect you to him.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
He is another financial advisor, and I talked to him in private after the chat, and he gave me solid advice. And he said to sell my collection to purchase another home.
He
And I
said that.
thought he did. And that was one of the reasons why I took all of my PSA submission and just purchased another home instead. I didn't sell the seal collection, but that's what I did because
Well, you're buying property in California though. Your housing market's a little more expensive than a lot of ours.
that's kind of true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
And I
very
know
true.
you had reserved investments on as well too.
I
Yeah.
did. I loved him. I loved him. You should get him on.
He's not a big fan of the Pokemon market though.
he's he's not at all, not at all, not at all, not
Yeah.
at all, but not at all. But I'm just really excited. I'm back to collecting. I've always collect, always. But when I meant back to collecting, I meant like less live streaming. I'm always talking. I always do live stream like maybe once or twice a month, just to because I miss the community. This is kind of my social life. So I go and update, make some jokes, but I've always collect and always give back to the community. And it's really great just to be back and just get new faces. But it's really sad because I had a lot of OG PokeTubers on, and sadly they kind of just stopped collecting,
Well,
like
that's
the
the thing.
cat's meow.
You had
Mhm.
old school Pokemon YouTube content creators, people that were,
Yeah, yeah,
100,000 plus subscribers that probably people in this chat wouldn't even know their names. So
yeah. And some just kind of stopped collecting, had a family, like the cat's meow, and eventually it just kind of to them it's kind of went away. And
now, do you feel you have the ability? Because I think that's one of the things that a lot of people are probably
Mhm,
struggling with right now. Because
mhm,
I think for the newer people that came into the hobby, they almost maybe have a little bit of fear where if they're like, I can't take any sort of break from the Pokemon hobby, because
mhm.
one thing about this hobby is it doesn't stop. And I've said this on my channel in the past on videos,
Yeah.
like Pokemon is a freight train running down the tracks. Like it doesn't stop for anybody, it just keeps chugging along. Like
Mhm.
Pokemon is that train. How have you been able to just kind of pull yourself back a little bit from the hobby, take a little bit of a breather? But like you said, you've always still been collecting constantly. How have
Mhm.
you been able to just like navigate that little area where taking a break? Because this hobby moves so fast. It's like, oh,
Oh
you
my
take a
god,
couple
it
months, you take
does.
a couple sets off. You're like, wait,
It
what did I
does.
miss? What's the chase card of this?
It
What's going on?
it does. It totally does. Oh my god, that's such a great question. Like I said to you guys, I'm very slow. I move at a slow pace. I am not even on Pokemon Go. I think the last set that I am trying to complete is oh my god, now that I look about it, I think I'm still on Evolving Skies, you guys. So that's how slow I am. So like I said, I'm in no rush whatsoever. I think because of the way the pace that I move, I don't really take breaks, be honest. I just always collect, always buy. But like for example, I know people, like I've seen it during, they were just spent thousands of dollars on one set, just opening these packs. And guess what? 3 months later, another set comes out, and there'll be another Charizard. They're like, "Oh my god, I've opened that." Another set will come out. Oh my god! Guess
How
what?
many
They'll be
Charizards have been released in the last 5 years? It's like anybody in the chat could tell me how many. Like you
yeah,
would price.
yeah. Do you guys remember how was it the Hidden Fates Charizard? And everybody was just spending. It was like what, $12 a pack on Hidden Fates, and people were just going 20. Here's $12. Here's $12. And then what? The next Charizard, and they're like, oh my god, they were just so exhausted. People will get burnt out, and I notice when they get burnt out, people will leave the hobby. That's what I've noticed, or they'll take a break, they'll come back, and that's what I'm hoping. But I've noticed during this hobby, you just got to be financially responsible. I feel like a mom for saying that, but that's really true. You got to be financial. You will get burnt out if you want to stay in this hobby, and you want to stay in this hobby and not just drain yourself financially. Don't follow everyone's pace. Just go at your own pace. The hobby will always be there, and that's what I would just say. So
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. The hobby will always be there, and that's a beautiful thing
Mhm.
about this hobby. And one of the things I've heard people talk about before, and it's always that like crazy hypothetical, like,
Mhm.
can Pokemon ever go away? Can it ever disappear? And it's like the only argument I'm never willing. People are like, I guess hypothetically in 5 years. I'm just like, no, sorry. At this point, I'm too ingrained in Pokemon. The people I've communicated with on almost daily basis, the people that are really deep down the rabbit hole, I
Mhm.
promise you guys with all certainty, Pokemon's going to be there in 5 years. Definitely going to be there in 10 years. And my kid is definitely going to like Pokemon,
Yeah.
whether he wants to or not. At this point, he doesn't even have a choice. Like he's going to like Pokemon,
Yeah.
So I think Pokemon is going to grow. Now, just because I think it's going to grow and continue to survive, and whether that's through games or the
Mhm.
cards or
Mhm.
whatever, it
Mhm.
doesn't mean that the hobby is going to be the same 10 years from now as it is
Mhm.
today, but there
Mhm.
will still be a hobby, and especially on the highest.
Absolutely.
Like
Mhm.
anybody out there waiting for your opportunity to get a PSA 10 Shadowless first edition Charizard for $5. Like, sorry.
That's
The market will never die to the point where that card is $5, at least in my lifetime, because
I
if it
don't
is,
think so.
we got 61 people watching this chat right now, and those 61 people won't let that card get the $5. There's like some things I could get behind, some hypotheticals, and some I just can't.
You can get one on $5 on Etsy.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Maybe you can get that $5, and it'll probably come in a PSA slab too with a real cert number.
Exactly, 00. But
Yeah.
is anyone in the chat going to collect a con in Long Beach? I will see you guys there. So look for me. Look for me.
So Basic Trainer will be there.
No way.
Yeah, I think Basic Trainer is going to be there. He's going to have a table, so you'll have to go check out.
I am definitely. I'm so excited. I will not flake. I'll be there on Saturday because that's where I'm meeting King Pokemon. So I'm so excited. I'm gonna get his autograph, and I'm gonna give one to the stream, on my stream, and I'm so excited for that. But yeah, other than that, what are you collecting?
Right now, I'm still going after. I'm trying to do a master set of Skyridge and PSA 9 and 10, but I'm talking full master set. So I'm talking commons, uncommons, reverse hollows and commons, uncommons, reverse hollow rares, hollow rares, crystals and reverses, crystals and regular hollow. It's a substantial goal, and I'm having a lot of trouble completing it on the lower end, meaning the commons, uncommons in high grades, because I've been trying to pick up like raw cards. And one of the things about some of these older like e-reader sets is the conditions are actually pretty good and they grade very well. But the prices for some of these cards are getting pricey. Like to pick up a uncommon in a 9 or a 10 could be like between $40 to $100, even on the lowest ends of Pokemon, like the non-chase cards. So when you got a Skyridge 144 card set, not including the holo, so that adds another 32 to it, not including the crystal cards, so that adds another 10 because you got 5 crystals in reverse holo, 5 crystals in holo. So now you got 32, that's 42 plus 144, and then you double the 144 because now everything is going to also be in reverse holo. So now that sets 300 plus cards where your lowest PSA 9 is like $30, and that's on the absolute lowest of like common non-holo whatever, so it's like it's just been daunting at this point trying to complete that, but that's where I'm at right now. And then
Gotcha.
I'm constantly just picking up anything I think is a good deal at the time, anything I think is selling for under market,
Okay.
or a lot of things that I think I can make plays at too. I've been trying to do my best to separate what is part of my collection versus what I want to sell, because I'm sort of in the position where in order for me to continue to grow my collection, I need to constantly be selling into the market, freeing up cash, selling the stuff I don't want and acquiring the stuff I do want. But there's no way I could do that unless I'm selling into the market. And a lot of that is optimizing, the money I'm making. And a lot of that comes with grading. Big caveat to grading, like you mentioned earlier, turnaround time, stuff like this. So it's a constant battle sometimes in this hobby.
Gotcha. Where are you buying your cards from?
I would say mainly eBay, almost close
eBay.
to 90% to 100%. Yeah.
My goal is all the Pikachu cards. Oh, then you'll like this binder that I have.
So you do most of your buys off what, like Burbank, stuff like that?
Burbank,
I can't
Pokemon
watch
World.
Burbank. There's so much garbage that gets put up there that I don't know how you weed through it. Like, I'm fine with weeding through garbage eBay listings, but I don't know.
I have better luck in Pokemon World because I know Ryan Rush, and so I've get better luck. Burbank, it's just a hit and a miss sometimes, but yeah, there's some. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's before I got really lucky at what is it, shopgoodwill.com, and this
I
is
did some Shop
years
Goodwill too. That's funny.
years. I'll show you. I got, oh my God, I'll show you.
It's funny you say that because I did buy some Shop Goodwill auctions for a while, but then 2020 and 2021 like destroyed that market too.
It did. It completely did. So I remember some of the cards that I bought. I think this whole page of Charizard that I have, I think on this side, I think I only got it for like $55 on Shop Goodwill, and they're like in perfect condition. And I bet it's like, this is years and years ago. Nobody wanted these cards. And I had a fantastic time just buying it. And I felt kind of dumb. I should have bought more,
Yeah.
But that's okay. I'm very grateful for the collection that I have.
That looked like a page. That looked like Evolution Charizards though, huh?
Yeah, there were Evolution Charizard and there was some base Japanese, but they're not the non-symbol one. But
do you have do you have a lot of no symbol holos or for Japanese?
No, I don't. I didn't really collect a lot of Japanese. That's why I bought the Cat's Meow, a Japanese collection. But yeah. So, Blazer, nice, good job, very cool. I won from you, so you got it. Excellent.
So for anybody out
where you buying grabs the pen.
For anybody out there watching this video after the fact, Blazer OP wrote in the chat. He said, PokeGal, I forgot to mention, I pulled the Moonbryon from the blister he won from her. So PokeGal on a lot of her live streams. She is a very generous live streamer. She gives away a lot of stuff on her live streams. And yeah, so he won a blister and was able to pull the Moonbryon. So that's pretty awesome.
All sponsored by a lot of people that work with me to give back to the community.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you something.
Sure.
Okay, I'm just very, very curious. So you say that you buy and you sell. So what are you, okay, obviously I know what your selling point is, but what are you buying in order to sell? Like, how do you know what's the profit range that you're going to make? What's your target? So I know a lot of people, they go, okay, I pay it 40% and then I sell it. And then the 10% is the PSA grading. So how are you doing buying these collection, or
yep. So that's
are you making your profit? How are you making your profit?
So that's a good question. So one of the things about being extremely in tune with the market, which is
Uh-huh.
something like I do because I'm constantly engaged in the market. So I'm a
Mhm.
very good I'm very good at understanding like what cards are worth, like even cards that I might not be like extremely familiar with. When I
Uh-huh.
search eBay ending soonest Pokemon, and
Uh-huh.
and I'm scrolling through all the garbage listings to find the good ones,
Mhm.
I'm able to extremely quickly identify cards that are undervalued at the current like
Mhm.
auction price.
Mhm.
So a lot of the times I'm looking at it, I'm looking at condition, I already have a price for that card graded in my head. A
Mhm.
lot of the plays I do, like I said, is that grading. So a lot of it just comes down to recognizing things instantly. Like
Gotcha.
there's very few things on my watch list that are ungraded, meaning a lot of the stuff that I'm watching
Mhm.
is graded stuff that I'm kind of just watching the auctions, stuff like that, stuff that's easily searchable. But a lot of the stuff that
Mhm.
I make my highest margins on is the
Mhm.
stuff that is raw ending soonest. Now, what I've
Mhm.
also had a lot of luck on very recently, and I've
Okay.
had luck in the past doing it, but recently is just finding certain sellers who are doing like fire sales of their collections, packing a ton of auctions in real small windows of time. People who maybe don't have like massive feedback scores, maybe they're sitting in like
Okay.
20 to 50 feedback score range. So people are still
Okay.
hesitant and just buying up their auction, stuff like that, and then saving those sellers, going back to those sellers until
Okay.
you've more or less like sucked them dry in a sense, like where their
Uh-huh.
collection's gone and you've
Uh-huh.
acquired at least the good stuff in it, stuff like that. But all that is just a lot of time too.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Do you factor that time in at
No,
all? You don't.
no. It's I don't look at it because I enjoy it, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense.
I'm doing these buys like while I'm watching TV at the end of the day and stuff
Got
like
it.
that, sitting on my couch or laying in bed or, scrolling through my phone whenever
Mhm.
and just doing those search terms. But I do it because I like it, where the same way somebody might come home from work and
Yeah.
put their TV on and watch a movie. While I could
Yeah.
have that same movie playing in the background, I'm still able to, in a way, multitask and do that.
Got
And
it. That's
the
hey.
second the second I don't like it, it's a
Uh-huh.
beautiful option of just clicking the power button on my phone and putting it to the side, and I don't gotta worry, so
Got it. You know what? Since I like this chat so much, I'm gonna show them what's underneath. You guys are just gonna be like, oh my god. I'll show you guys. I'll be right back, okay? You
okay.
guys are ready for a heart attack? Are you guys
Uh,
ready? I'll be
I'm
right back.
guessing alright.
To mute myself. I'm gonna stop the video. I'll be right back.
Yep. So I can only imagine what sort of Pokemon who knows what PokeGal is gonna pull out from underneath that desk, and like I said to you guys, her collection is ridiculous. She has one binder video on her channel where it's just her going over pages and pages of binders. And like I mentioned earlier in this video, if you guys are just tuning in now, she was going to send 8,000 cards away to PSA, decided against it. But those 8,000 cards she was gonna send are some of the more high end, especially when it comes to set cards, and you saw even, like, what she has for what I would consider modern Japanese, which is, like, all the Ponchos, Pikachus, and stuff, like, that doesn't even, like, scratch the surface on what PokeGal's collection is, so I am interested on what she is going to pull out. Uh, so Tommy
Okay,
Fogel said,
so
"Oh, I
this
hear you.
is what I
Your
sit. Oh my
your
god.
screen's still off."
Oh, I know. I'm kind of embarrassed, okay, you guys? Oh my god. Here we go. This is what I sit. These are
Oh my
just
god.
binders and binders of just cards that I just at the
That's just
bottom.
sitting under your desk every
It's
time
just
you're
sitting
talking.
on my desk, just like that. Just binders and binders of
How do you have the
cards.
binders labeled? What does it say on, like, the front
It's
of one of
just
them?
it's just alphabetical, like G1,
So what does G1 stand for? Just
just G, the Pokemon name
oh,
initially, and it just sits there. It's just such a mess. This is just part of it. I have one. in another room. It's like just sitting there, and there's like Gold Stars, GX, just and that's a complete set of Team Rocket just sitting at the end, and I'm just sitting there, and I guess this is what I do. It's underneath my seat, and there's my seat right there, and this is this is some of the bulk, and this is all the sets that the Cat's Meow purchased for me that I need to organize. All of my
if anybody is just listening to this in the background after the fact, you guys have to watch the screen right now.
You don't have to. This is just, oh my god, and that's the booster boxes up there.
Look at that.
That's a box that I bought for $425. That
Heart gold soul silver.
Box. Yeah, but all the Watsies are in a storage, but there's just some of the box that I bought. It's just sitting there. I have more in the room. Huh?
No, I could see I could see all the flash fire. You said you got 4 flash fire up there.
I do. I got one in
the
there.
middle on the second.
I got one. Yeah, I got one. I got sit there. But this is the mess that I need to like figure out what to do. It's just sitting there. Someone breaks in. This is like,
well, don't give anybody
no,
any thoughts.
No, not at all. Whenever I ship, I send it to a different address, so they don't know, but it's just sitting there. These binders, I just need to do something with it. But but hopefully no one's. So
what do you do with all your doubles? And well, obviously never mind, your doubles are all on the same binder page.
No, I don't. I actually have the doubles are in the different room. So these are just like, for example.
But didn't you say you have a full Pokemon room?
I do.
So this isn't even your Pokemon room.
No, this is just like, for example, this is Gengar.
I get it. So when it says G1, that was just Gengar 1.
That's just Gengar. This is how I advertise stuff. This is 25 years in the making, you guys. This is 25 years in the making. I literally have all the cards. If I were to go back, I would not.
You have a bunch of Garchomp level X's in there.
I know. It's just, if I were to go back, I would not organize it like this. I would do it by sets. And that's what I'm planning to do for my Japanese. Oh my god, such a mess. It just sits there. Oh, there we go. Oh, actually, some of the doubles.
Oh, so you got Fossil and the Legendary Collection on the page.
It just sits there.
Oh wait, I love the Expedition Gengar there too. Gengar level X's. Oh my god, you got it all.
I have it all. They're all like, these are the cards that I bought. If they're not, it's not mint. It's not in these binders. But anyways, you guys, it's just, oh my god, it just sits here. I don't know what to do. Eventually, I need to I don't even know what to do. It just sits. This is over $100,000. Just sits there.
Oh boy.
I know. All right, I'm gonna turn this off so I can put my cell phone back in the.
All right, no problem.
I'll be right back.
I'm sure PokeGal could hear us, but yeah, guys, like the fact that what you just saw there wasn't even her Pokemon room. That's just her office, and the massive amount of PokeGal just has a insane collection. It far surpasses my collection by like tenfold. It is just, I've always found it so amazing watching her streams because she shows just a little bit of it. Like every single video, she never shows it all at once or anything. And like very rare do you ever get a tour. Like I've watched countless hours of her live streams, and I think she only ever shows like the ceiling in one video one time. Like it's not something she shows off all the time, but her collection is just freaking massive. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there looking at those binders and knowing that they're not in order by sets, that they're in order by Pokemon themselves. Probably a lot of people go crazy, but I was looking at her binder. She had Gengar from Sword and Shield sets sitting next to Gengars from Expedition, and then there's Gengar at level X's, and I saw just so many different sets were there. And there was a page of just different Gardevoirs, and there was Gardevoirs from every single XY set in there, and we could honestly, at this point, if PokeGal wanted to, we could just look at every single one of her binders and go through every single card on every single page, talk about the history, talk about like everything that goes with every single card. Like, and that's the thing about Pokemon. And one of the reasons why I keep going back to it, and I say everybody needs to keep going back to it, is that excitement where you can be in this hobby for so long and you could be so engaged with it, but there'll still come a day where somebody will pull out a card or show you a card that you have never seen before, ever. And you're like, how did I not know this card existed? Or they'll show you an artwork for a card, but they'll like cast that artwork in a different light, like different light. Maybe they'll show a background or tell a story to it. Very similar if you've seen like my Squirtle from Fire Red Leaf Green. I made the background of it. I put the dollar bill in it with Squirtle in the water. It looks like the scene out of like Nirvana's Nevermind. But like little things like that's just a comment from Fire Red Leaf Green. But like in order to just add that dollar bill and tell the story, and that's why Pokemon's awesome. But PokeGal, I just want to say thank you, like for showing
Oh,
us all
no
that.
problem. I
That
I
was
heard
awesome.
what you said. Absolutely not true. Your collection is wonderful. That's
So,
not true. But yes, those 3-ring binders stress me out too. But I don't even know how to like. I don't even know these ultra pro binders are expensive. Okay,
they are
it's
like
I like it's expensive. Kind of. I need to like. I got to put this in a room and lock it forever or something. And I
don't
try
do
to get
that.
or something because it just sits there. But I'm usually at home, so it's next to me, and there's the room. The Pokemon room is next to me too. But then yeah, it's
So I know you've talked about all your WotC boxes. You
yeah,
don't keep at your house. You keep them in like
no,
a
yeah,
storage unit. Is that
I
like
do.
a financial thing? You just want to keep them safer and
Oh,
not
just
have them at the
things.
house, or
Absolutely. Wait one
yeah,
second. I think that thing fell again. 1 second.
sure. Mason Berry said sorting cards is the worst for sure. After 10,000 or so, the back starts giving out. Yeah.
Oh, I agree. It just sits there, and there's just, oh my god, boxes and boxes back in the garage too. So it's like it's kind of stressful after a while, you guys. It's like
So
I just let it
yeah.
sit there.
So my collection isn't as massive as yours, but one of the questions I get from people is they always say
Uh-huh.
like, what would it take for you to get out of Pokemon, stuff like that? And in my head, I'm like, logistically, not even possible. And it's the same thing for you. Like
Yeah.
for you, I mean, I guess in a hypothetical situation, you can just sell your collection as a whole, but
Hmm.
that would you're a
No,
financial advisor. Like
I
that
will
would
never
be
do that.
yeah, that'd be
I
ridiculous.
will
But like
never do that. Never. I
exactly.
don't.
But
I would sell a cup. I would sell my home first before I probably live in the. Oh, I don't even know where I would live with all
well, you
this.
have multiple homes. You just said so you could sell one of
before
those, keep the Pokemon.
before I go from there. But yes, but I do want to do a giveaway, and I just random like to do a giveaway to your
You
guests.
don't have to do
No,
that.
I want to. I
Okay.
want to. It's gonna be a mystery ETBs. It's gonna show up at your house within like 3 to 5 days. And the people that watch me know that I do take my time to send things, but I do send them. Right. I know. So I don't know how to do this giveaway on Zoom. I usually make people do a hashtag. So should you write down a number and then they will guess what the number is and how close is it for a
Sure.
giveaway?
I could do
Okay.
that. So
So
yeah, we got 60 people watching it, so we'll do it out of like I don't know,
you tell
70.
okay.
Well,
So okay. So I'm gonna send one of you guys a mystery ETB. It's just this is gonna show up at your door. Okay. So I want you to write a number down, and I think I don't know the number because okay. And should one entry per person or should they
yeah,
spam?
they could do one entry. So and everybody out there watching this, just type a number in 1 through 70. I knew a lot of people were gonna write 69. I already like that was the first number I thought of, but so on this piece of paper is a number written.
Okay, so you let me know because I don't know the number.
Yeah. So I think I could type the number to you so you know.
Oh, Thrifty, did you ever get the package I sent to you? Let me know. Let me know. I did a package update like on Sunday, so I wanted the people to know. Let me know.
How do I? Okay. So this is the number. I sent you a chat. That's the number I picked, and I
Oh,
have her.
I think
have-
someone did say that number.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
Who said it?
Devin.
Devin.
Let me double check. Yep, Devin. Actually, oh my God, right away.
So
Devin Burke.
that was the
Yeah.
number 37.
Yeah, Devin. That was fast. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. That was fast. Devin.
So Devin, what's the best way to reach out to you on Instagram? Probably.
Yeah, Instagram or can someone kindly post my Instagram on the chat, please? So Devin, that was pretty fast. That was like the 7th guess. That was really, really fast. Yeah, Devin. I'm gonna send you an ETB, okay?
So the next one we could do, PokeGal, or we don't have to
Okay.
do another giveaway, but I was gonna say we should do it where if people comment on your last video on your channel, I could do a random comment picker, but they have to be subscribed.
It's okay.
Okay.
I did. Can I give you a shout out on my last live? Perfect. Thank you. My actual name, John Doe, liar. Liar. Okay. Devin, can you Facebook me on not Facebook? Can you message me on Instagram? AS like now. Now. There was like someone that tried to like scam me and says, hey, this is the winner. And luckily I follow my instinct. I go, that doesn't look like you. But anyways, don't really have social, got a Discord. Oh, can you email me then? Like now. Okay.
But that was very nice of you. You don't
No
have to do that.
problem. No, I
don't
want
ever-
to. I want to. I love this community a lot. I really do. I really do. But unfortunately, I do have to go. It is
Oh yeah.
on a weekday.
That's okay. I gotta go too. I got work in the morning. But so
I do.
just
I
some
do.
so for final closing thoughts. First, if any of you guys haven't smashed that like button yet, gotta smash that like button. If you're not subscribed to me, I do ask that you guys could give me a subscribe. But if you don't even do that, most importantly, above all other things, please give PokeGal a subscribe.
That would
Her
be
channel is fantastic. The content, the history, her attitude, her personality is just, she is such a strong beacon of light for this hobby. Definitely like an extremely strong positive in so many ways. And with that said, PokeGal, I cannot thank you enough for coming on the channel. And do you have any final words for all the people out there watching?
I do. I do. I really like the community. I obviously, I give back to the community as much love I give 10 times. I really like, and the people that follow you follow me too. And I recognize a lot of the names. And this is why I continue to do the things that I do. I hope to see you guys at Collecticon. I will probably be wearing red. And when you guys see me in person, just remember I'm tall, fit, and I don't walk funny. And I'm only 21. So I'll see you guys at Collecticon. Do subscribe. I do stream twice a month. It's just an update because I don't want to lose this connection with the Pokemon community. So that's what I do. And last but not least, I hope you guys do stay in the community. There's great people like PokeKnowledge that will help you. And don't burn yourself out. Everybody has their own pace. Okay. This is a very fast moving collectible. But in the end, you guys, it's coming from me. In the end, this Pokemon cards are just cardboard, right? They're not it's not necessary to survive on. So make sure whatever you guys do, make sure to spend responsibility. Spend responsible. Spend. Oh my God, I can't talk. Spend
responsibly.
Responsibly.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what I always have to say, and that's just coming from my background and what I do. And at the end of the days, you guys, there's one quote that I've always said, what is it? You don't need Pokemon cards. You need food and water and a roof. So that's what I always have to say to you guys. Just slow down and love what you do, collect what you love. And you guys are awesome. That's all. It was really great. I'm just glad just to be back on YouTube just a little bit. And yeah, but last but not least, if you guys do follow me on Instagram, I do advising, and then anything financially, you guys can always reach out to me. I would love to help you guys out on that. And you guys, yep, and never chase. I like that, Kevin. All right.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye, PokeGal. And for everybody out there watching, we appreciate every one of you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next video.
Bye.
Bye.